He is the president of Crime Prevention Research Center. John, appreciate you joining us back here again on CTV News Channel.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and another dark day for members of the United States. What is your reaction? What was going through your mind when you heard about this latest shooting in Ohio?
Well, obviously horror. One hates to hear any of these types of attacks occur. With regard to practical things, it's just a question of hoping that somebody had been able to step in quickly in order to defend people and stop the attack from happening. Unfortunately, you have a situation where this killer is waiting outside an establishment where people who are in there aren't able to have a weapon to be able to go and defend themselves. So when they step out, we're sitting ducks essentially.
We know that the shooter was very well armed. He had armor on him as well. So obviously something that was very well planned. We have been hearing reaction from the president on this shooting, on the shooting in El Paso as well. What do you think the government needs to do with regards to these situations?
Well, I think generally, whether it's the Gilroy shooting last week or these or, other ones, is to make it so that people are going to be able to go and defend themselves. These killers, time after time, pick targets where they know people aren't going to be able to go and defend themselves. You read the manifesto for the guy in El Paso, and it was pretty clear that he was trying to pick a target where he didn't think people were going to be able to go and defend themselves. And, I understand, Americans may have a lot of guns, but it doesn't do them any good if the attackers attack a place where guns are banned. These killers may be crazy in some sense, but they're not stupid. And if they go to a place where they want to kill as many people as possible, attacking some place where people are not able to do so to defend themselves makes that a lot easier.
But on the flip side, John, the other argument, of course, is that they're saying having these guns out there, having these guns accessible makes things more dangerous. That, is on the flip side. We heard that mom's group protesting outside the White House saying something needs to be done. We need to do something about guns.
Well, I think something needs to be done. I've been worried about these types of attacks for 20 years in terms of my research. But you look around the world, what you find, there are many countries in Europe that, at least in terms of mass public shootings, have a worse murder rate than the United States. You have France, for example. France had more casualties from mass public shootings in 2015 than the United States had during the entire 8 years of the Obama presidency. 532 in France versus 527 in the United States over 8 years. And France is a country that has 1/5 the population that the United States has. You just for population, many major countries in Europe like Finland and Norway and Switzerland and Russia that have much higher murder rates, even though many of those countries, France bans semi-automatic guns. Russia maybe only has about 1% of their population that has a license to be able to own guns. The point is that these types of killers, they plan these attacks long in advance. As you mentioned with the Ohio person, it's obvious, we don't know yet, but it's pretty obvious they probably planned this attack long in advance. When you look at these cases time after time, 6 months is a short amount of time for these people to go and plan these attacks beforehand. If 2.5 years for something like the Sandy Hook killer. If people are planning these attacks a year or 2 years in advance, it's pretty hard to go and stop them from getting weapons. Look how much the United States has tried to stop people from getting illegal drugs. Where do you think the major source of illegal guns are? It's drug dealers. Drug dealers have guns simply to protect the very valuable property that they have. We're going to be no more able to stop criminals or people who want to do those types of attacks from getting illegal guns than we've been able to stop them from getting illegal drugs.
Yeah, a big problem, as you mentioned there, and a lot that still needs to be discussed. John Lott, thank you very much again for joining us here on CTV News Channel. Appreciate your thoughts on this.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.